of Lagos.
7 p.m. every weekday, only on Cruise. The Cruise never.
This evening, 1 and it won't be demolished, be demolished. So those were the two games. Goal to go. Newcastle 0, and for Newcastle they're back here. Milan also aim, and still got more coming late. Belgrade as well. Again, so Adigo, thanks for joining today on the show. All right.
Good evening, by the way. Yeah, he's looking like a tight encounter, which
just needed to ring the changes after what happened over the weekend.
Yeah, but again, let to him play. He's playing, and as the commentator,
again,
he's hearing the Champions League as well. They played AC Milan,
has pumped one in the minutes in Milan.
We're talking about the game. I think the only respect ahead of the Milan that's the San Siro.
This time.
Football again with another shot. Yeah.
I think he's trying to today. I made it within my close circle, so the movie that's possible.
Exactly.
Yes.
I'm not too sure.
Especially lost the final. So you want player and Milan that are just what it means to have home advantage in the Champions League. They could even get
much exploited, even devastating going forward. But I think if they get it, it's some birthday shout out coming from Tunde Young, right?
Thank you very much. So the courtesy of prosper.
Yeah,
sir, you know who wish you well.
Words hold the mpulse OS. MTN CEO for a day, the face of MTN.
2023 𝐕𝐵 session. If you scored 100 and above in the 2022-2023 UTME and have 5 relevant credits and have not gained admission, you can change over to the Broadcast Art Institute Lagos for National Diploma in Broadcast Journalism and Multimedia Technology. The Broadcast Art Institute is accredited by the National Board for Technical Education (NBTE) to offer national diploma programs in broadcast journalism and multimedia technology. You can visit our campus at number 38 Odofin Street, Igbobo, Ikorodu, Lagos, or call the following numbers: 0806 149 9992 or 0703 713 1166 or 0816 587 1415.
Come and give me some flavor. Yeah, I want my flavor. Golden penny noodles. Yeah, that's why I get my flavor.
Golden penny noodles comes in jollof chicken flavor, goat meat pepper soup flavor, jollof hot flavor, and the newly improved chicken flavor. Now available in a new pack. Golden penny noodles. I want what I want.
Me, I just want my flavor.
Hey friends, it's 𝗵𝐸, the winner of the 2022 MTN mpulse Spelling Bee competition. Winning last year was a life-changing experience, and I'm getting this amazing education because of the scholarship grant. I even got to be the MTN Nigeria CEO for a day, a whole day. Imagine that. Now guess what? This year's edition is here, and you don't want to miss out on the fun. There's an awesome scholarship grant and lots of other amazing prizes worth up to 18 million naira. If you're not on the mpulse tariff plan, join today so you don't miss out. To participate in this year's Spelling Bee competition, visit mpulse.mtn.ng. Trust me, it's going to be a wonderful experience. So, what are we doing today?
The Broadcast Art Institute Supplementary Admissions 2022-2023. Few vacancies exist in the Departments of Broadcast Journalism and Multimedia Technology for admission in the 2022-2023 session. If you scored 100 and above in the 2022-2023 UTME and have 5 relevant credits and have not gained admission, you can change over to the Broadcast Art Institute Lagos for National Diploma in Broadcast Journalism and Multimedia Technology. The Broadcast Art Institute is accredited by the National Board for Technical Education (NBTE) to offer national diploma programs in broadcast journalism and multimedia technology. You can visit our campus at number 38 Odofin Street, Igbobo, Ikorodu, Lagos, or call the following numbers: 0806 149 9992 or 0703 713 1166 or 0816 587 1415.
listening to Mainland 98.3 FM.
Welcome back. Sports Cruise on Mainland 98.3 FM. We're still, taking a look at the Champions League. It's Champions League night tonight and tomorrow. The big game tomorrow is in Bavaria. Bayern Munich up against Manchester United, who don't really know what he did today in training. 3 players went off training today. Harry Maguire is out of the game tomorrow. Rafa Varane is out despite training, and I'm understanding Mason Mount also is out of the game for tomorrow for Manchester United as they take on Bayern Munich. But meanwhile, it's still Milan 0, Newcastle 0, and it looks like Newcastle have finally found a way to, temper the storm. Tony Young.
Yeah. We were talking about Newcastle's. If Milan do not score, Newcastle will get back into the game, and it's starting to look like that. Although maybe it might be a commentator's cause as Theo Hernandez has the ball in a dangerous position for Milan, and
you almost jinxed it for them. Yeah.
Giroud
coming close again.
You probably should have scored that. But prior to that, Newcastle had a penalty claim. Sean Longstaff foraging into the box. Newcastle just look a touch out of place, and when you look at a team like Newcastle, that was a good chance for Giroud.
And that's classic. That's a classic.
There's somewhere also
that's classic.
When you look at Newcastle, when they played Liverpool, played Man City, they lost both of those games very narrowly. They did not look out of place, and then they play an AC Milan team that is inferior to those two teams in quality, at least in quality of players, or even.
But the way it is with the Champions League, it's a different thing from playing the Premier League.
Yeah, they look significantly behind Milan. They look like they're not even playing.
The continental game is tactically very much different from what you play domestically.
You can't blame Newcastle, Wally. This is the first time they have been on this stage, and just like you said,
first time in 20 years.
Yeah, this first time any player in this squad that had actually been in Newcastle for the past 3-4 years, except maybe the likes of Alexander Isak. I'm not sure if he played Champions League when he was still in the Spanish League.
Yeah,
Newcastle.
He played for
Borussia Dortmund also. So I think for me, he's always going to be very important. You talked about expectations. Yes, you don't go into a season, into a Champions, even though the expectation is not for you to win anything, even though nobody is thinking you should be part of the contenders or you just going there to make up numbers. You certainly want to count yourself lucky. Probably just have a better chance of getting something done. You didn't qualify via playoff. You had automatic qualification by finishing 4th in the English Premier League. It shows that you go into the tournament and you expect quite a lot, even though sometimes some of these expectations may not match the reality on ground. So I'm not expecting Newcastle to be a better side in a game against AC Milan at the San Siro Stadium. It's going as planned. It's going as expected. And a lot of people will probably tell you that Newcastle will not get a point from over both legs.
But also we've seen fairy tale runs from teams that
I think this game is a matter of when, not if.
Yeah, of course, I agree. Maybe they're upsetting right now.
What exactly was that?
I was trying to do the extra there, and
he just took too many touches.
Sam Chukwueze tries to cover up, but goal line clearance.
I think it was even offside to begin with. I feel if he had scored that, maybe the VAR would have ruled that out.
But they're still smelling blood. Yeah, it's still smelling blood on that Newcastle goal, but it's gone out for safety.
What exactly was that? You want to have
Rafael took too many touches,
and then look at the way he wanted to score. He wanted to flip the ball with the back of his boot.
Or maybe also reminiscent of what he did against Napoli last season in the Champions League. Remember when he made that mazy run and won that penalty, almost identical to what we have here. But they have another corner kick. Milan against Newcastle here, still goalless, and RB Leipzig trying to get one more. But young boys asking questions here. Big chance, and he's in the net. Yeah, it's 1-1 already. Yeah, it's 1-1. Topok it in, and yes, at the start of the Swiss in Van Dorf, it's 1-1. Young boys have just equalized them against RB Leipzig. All right.
𝗪𝗫 with the goal for Young Boys, and 1-1. Hopefully it doesn't stay.
All right, the champions are also in action tonight. Manchester City, they're up against Crvena Zvezda. Let's hear from their manager, who was talking about how easy it is for Man City to retain the Champions League now that they've won the first one.
Will it be harder to defend it than it was to win it for the first time, the Champions League?
No, easier. The most difficult is win the first one. The first one. Always we win, but it's something incredible for us, the first time in this history. But it just won, so let's go. Let's try to win tomorrow. And a team like is so aggressive, so fast up front. We saw yesterday, this morning, and you have to interpret or read perfectly the game you have to play.
Do you agree with Pep Guardiola? He feels it becomes now easier to win the next one?
Statistically, that's wrong because only 8 teams have defended the Champions League title. So where you consider the amount of Champions League that have been played.
But it doesn't necessarily have to
be immediately.
It does have to be immediate.
It could be once in the
next
2 years.
Now that we have gotten it, it becomes a bit easier if we want to win the next one.
It's always a huge pressure on Pep Guardiola. A lot of people have said that, he's not going to win the Champions League again without Lionel Messi. He moved over to Bayern. He won the German Bundesliga back to back. He never won the Champions League. Came over to Manchester City the 4th season, 2nd season, 3rd, 4th, 5th season. Eventually won the Champions. And I said it at the start of last season that if Man City does not win the Champions League last season and this season, Pep Guardiola should be sacked, arrested, charged and jailed, because you always have a feeling that particular missing puzzle was always going to be Brad Haaland. And the moment they brought him on board, I knew Pep Guardiola was going to win the Champions League last year, and they did. Now the pressure is off them. I mean, you look at all of these players, you look at Kevin De Bruyne, for instance, you look at Kyle Walker, you look like Riyad Mahrez. All of these guys have not won the Champions League before, so it's now that pressure is off their shoulders. Now they can play with more liberty. Although if you look at the way they played last season, they were more like a Rolls Royce. They were just so effortlessly getting games done. They were just crushing up. I mean, look at the way they took Real Madrid to the cleaners. The same almighty Real Madrid. So you just have a feeling that pressure is off them right now. I mean, it's one thing to be successful at first. Maintaining that level of success could be a matter of how you manage the first success that you have. I mean, these guys are not new to winning, obviously, but then this is the first time they're going to be in that space in the Champions League. Now a lot of people are beginning to start focusing more on them. You start looking at the fact that maybe we just did a lot of respect for them. We thought they couldn't survive Real Madrid, they couldn't survive this one, they did. And now a lot of people start thinking, why not? Maybe perhaps we have to focus more on them right now. It is easier for them to win another Champions League now, Wally, because the pressure is no longer on them. A lot of people felt that Pep Guardiola will not do it. He has done it again outside of Barcelona without Lionel Messi.
All right, Samuel Chukwueze getting plenty of joy on the right side, gets a cross in there, floats it in.
This game is so easy for it's so easy for him.
So Samuel gets the cross in, and the knockback still comes back to him.
I wonder why Giroud opted to try and attempt the bicycle kick.
Yeah, he was attempting the spectacular.
Where he could have just headed it home, and Chukwueze himself had headed widely over the bar. Milan continued to have the ascendancy, but for whatever reason, have not been able to compose themselves enough to score.
I like to see the expected goals from this game. I mean, especially from Milan, should be up to probably 2 right now. But let's get back to more on Pep Guardiola. Yeah, and I like the way he paused when he was asked about Manchester United, by the way. I mean, the pause was for effect. And they achieved it.
I've laughed so hard at that video.
But today, do you think that they are stronger than last season?
Manchester United?
Man City?
Oh, City. Last season, lots of the narrative was that they were probably weak. And we were asking why they were. I know lots of people forget. People have short memories, but there are times in the season where people genuinely believe that Haaland made them weaker and their player had become one-dimensional. So it depends on what version of the season we are talking about, because they ended the season pretty strongly. But mid-season, start of the season, lots of people felt City were there for the taking. So have they improved from last year? Only Pep Guardiola can say, to be honest. In terms of personnel they have, their bench is looking stronger than it was last season. But it's still City. Yes, if any improvement that's made is marginal. How do you improve on a treble-winning team?
All right, let's take a look at the other games still coming up tonight. Paris Saint-Germain versus Borussia Dortmund. All eyes on that one as well. Looks like a chaotic game.
By the way, I have the XG information you asked for.
Oh, let's have it.
AC Milan is up to 1.31. Guess Newcastle's XG.
0.00. They've never had the sniff of the goal. They've never had a sniff of the goal. And with time, I mean, looking at the chance again from Rafael, cuts one, cuts two, and
should have taken a shot there.
Waltzed through about 4 or 5 Newcastle players, but stumbled.
And there was a goal line clearance.
Oh, he's trying to
that was what I was trying to
backhill the ball into the net.
Does that?
Funny enough, AC Milan this might be the easiest game that they start the group with. I don't see them beating PSG. Or maybe they will. Who knows? But they might regret that.
I hope this is not smash and grab from Newcastle United. Just like Tunde Mokwe said, the game might just see Newcastle get one chance converted, and it's game set match.
Because AC Milan may feel they could get their chances, they could continue to create those chances, and then Newcastle feels like we'll get one, we convert it, and then we'll find a way to leak it off. So I mean.
All right, guys, what do you guys make of PSG Dortmund today, Young?
Normally you'd expect it should be a PSG win at the Parc des Princes, but PSG have just
they've lost at home this season.
They've been so unconvincing this season. But I still think they will have too much for Dortmund, who are also quite frankly not that good, to be honest. So I still think it should be PSG, but maybe not as emphatic as you would expect it to be.
I think you guys are sleeping on PSG. I think by the time they gel up, they become a team who focuses more, whose strength, interestingly, is not even in attack. Is in its transition from defense, because I mean,
they've got really
with Mbappe,
they've got Ousmane Dembele, they've got Kylian Mbappe, they've got Kolo-Muani, they've got
and the reason, that's Dan Murphy or something like Josh Murphy. And the reason I feel PSG's strength is going to be defense is those three guys playing three at the back: Milan Skriniar, Marquinhos, and
Kimpembe.
Cyprus now Kimpembe these days, but I mean they have another extra layer of protection with Skriniar, who's good experience, who's big, who's strong, and also Marquinhos, who knows the terrain very, very well. And from fullbacks, their fullbacks marauding. All right, Lucas Hernandez. So it's a very, very, if they can really achieve a lot of chemistry and cohesion, it is a side that can build its foundation can be not in attack, but in defense.
But the manager might not agree. One of the biggest criticisms
of when the manager won the treble Barcelona, how did he play? It was a transition from the back, and they were overlooking the midfield and bombing the balls all to the MSN.
But that's the thing. Like, the biggest criticism of Enrique's career so far is that outside of that Barcelona stint, his teams have all been
but his Barcelona stint was still the most successful. He won 6 trophies. What else do you want?
Yeah, but I'm not even talking about in terms of success. I'm talking about in terms of style of play.
Papa, forget style. PSG right now do anything to win the Champions League. They will do anything.
The manager has shown a pattern of always dominating possession, but his team's not having that cutting edge. His team not being able to break down opposition. It's only a Barcelona that you really reference.
I think they lack the creative players to be able to do that. Look at the midfield. All they have is more of Braun, Ugarte, Vitinha, Danilo. You don't have guys who can break down. That's why it's surprising they allowed Marco Verratti go. Verratti could have been the guy. The young guys are here. I'm not sure it's good. You can't put all of your creative hopes on a 17-year-old. So I think that what PSG are going to do is bypass midfield and get those balls up to
Muani,
Gonzalo Ramos,
Muani, Mbappe,
Dembele. Marco Asensio also has been good.
But he's out for today's game.
Oh, Asensio
is out of today's game.
Okay. All right. So, but they've got a nice overload. But if they can just find the proper balance, maybe they might launch an assault. Who knows? But it's a difficult group once again. Still goalless for the 3 minutes gone at the San Siro. It's also 1-1 between Young Boys and RB Leipzig, and it's halfway mark on Sports Cruise, which means we need to go on another break. I'll be right back with you.
Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos.
In a world where words hold the power to change destinies, step up as a spelling bee hero and embrace the magic of words. The MTN 𝐴𝐺𝐵 Spelling Bee competition is calling on all spelling champs like you to rise, excel, and amaze the world with your spelling prowess. Parents, register your kids now as students at mpulse.mtn.ng to participate and stand the chance to be the MTN CEO for a day, the face of MTN mpulse for a year, and 18 million naira worth of prizes. Visit mpulse.mtn.ng to participate now. MTN, what are we doing today?
The Broadcast Art Institute Supplementary Admissions 2022-2023. Few vacancies exist in the departments of broadcast journalism and multimedia technology for admission in the 2022-2023 session. If you scored 100 and above in the 2022-2023 UTME and have 5 relevant credits and have not gained admission, you can change over to the Broadcast Art Institute Lagos for National Diploma in Broadcast Journalism and Multimedia Technology. The Broadcast Art Institute is accredited by the National Board for Technical Education (NBTE) to offer national diploma programs in broadcast journalism and multimedia technology. You can visit our campus at number 38 Odofin Street, Igbogbo, Ikorodu, Lagos, or call the following numbers: 0806 149 9992 or 0703 713 1166 or 0816-587-1415.
Yes, who are you? What's up, Pop? I'm Young Love Booty, your daughter Nina's boyfriend. God forbid. Last month, Nina gave me this phone to repair, and she called asking me to return the SIM urgently.
Ah, that's my old Airtel SIM. Why didn't you say so before? Nina, dear, Young Love Booty is here.
Do anything to get your Airtel SIM back on if you haven't used it for 30 days or more. To enjoy 12 minutes voice call and 120 megabyte free on every recharge. Recharge 100 Naira and down. *141 *341 *1# now.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Come and give me some flavor. Yeah, I want my flavor. Golden penny noodles. Yeah, that's why I get my flavor.
Golden penny noodles comes in jollof chicken flavor, goat meat pepper soup flavor, jollof hot flavor, and the newly improved chicken flavor. Now available in a new pack. Golden penny noodles. I want what I want.
Me, I just want my flavor.
Hey friends, it's 𝗵𝐸𝐾, the winner of the 2022 NTN 𝐴𝐻𝐻 Spelling Bee competition. Winning last year was a life-changing experience, and I'm getting this amazing education because of the scholarship grant. I even got to be the NTN Nigeria CEO for a whole day. Imagine that. Now guess what? This year's edition is here, and you don't want to miss out on the fun. There's an awesome scholarship grant and loads of other amazing prizes worth up to 18 million naira. If you're not on the 𝐴𝐻𝐻 tariff plan, join today so you don't miss out. To participate in this year's spelling bee competition, visit mpos.ntn.ng. Trust me, it's going to be a wonderful experience. So, what are we doing today?
Come and give me some flavor. Yeah, I want my flavor. Golden penny noodles. Yeah, that's why I get my flavor.
Golden penny noodles comes in jollof chicken flavor, goat meat pepper soup flavor, jollof hot flavor, and the newly improved chicken flavor. Now available in a new pack. Golden penny noodles. I want what I want.
Me, I just want my flavor.
Clock the time. Rock the groove. It's music extravaganza, where the beat gets hotter. Mainland 98.3.
So by the way, and Javi, who will definitely, if you know your football, well, you know this is a reunion of 2005. Yeah, it was 2005. Van Bommel joined, and that was the period when Javi was enduring of the worst injury crisis of his career. Couldn't play. I think he missed about over 30 games last season, and Van Bommel was not what Barcelona fans are used to. I mean, it's about pass, you know, a bit of brain, but Bommel was big, strong, and they never thought it was going to fit. And they fit. Had a fine season. They made it to the Champions League final, and Frank Rijkaard made some very crazy decisions in that final. Anybody remembers? Dropped Xavi, who returned from injury, by the way.
Started Iniesta.
Dropped Iniesta, dropped Iniesta, and even Lionel Messi did not make the squad.
No,
Guess what?
Messi was injured.
Messi didn't make the squad. No, he wasn't injured. Messi did not make that squad. He had about 4 starts in that season.
I remember him getting injured. They played Chelsea in that run.
Yeah,
but I remember him getting injured in that game. But I don't know.
He was dropped from that squad. He was replaced by Maxi Lopez. Remember Maxi Lopez only played a minute of action in Champions that season, and a lot of people felt, how was he going to go through that midfield of Van Bommel, Edmilson, and Deco? Yeah, it was Deco in midfield, the midfield three against Arsenal, who went ahead first, and I mean, we know what happened. Lemon got sent off, and Giuliano Belletti, Samuel Eto'o did the magic, and they won 2-1. But it'll be nice to see Van Bommel at Barcelona once again, although not at the Camp Nou, it's at the Montjuic, and we'll see what Royal Antwerp will get to our fans. That's Shaki, fine midfielder, where I think the Super Eagles managers or the selectors should be taking a look at.
Yeah, we have a solid bunch in Belgium that has been overlooked for a while. Rafael Onyedika finally got the call up after impressing with Club Brugge. But yeah, hopefully Alassane gets his looking as well.
All right, it's half time, and both games have ended in Novin Tokyo vanquished mode. 0-0 at the San Siro, 1-1 in the Young Boys RB Lives game. We open up the call lines, but don't forget we're streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. We've got messages coming from that end. I'll be reading them very soon. If you want to join us, 091-36000-410 is the number to call if you want to join on Thoughts and Offer your comments on the Champions League tonight. By the way, don't forget, it's the end. This is the final season of the group stages.
Yeah.
Do you guys like the format coming up next season?
I do not, but I'm sure we'll get
Okrami, do you know the format?
Yeah, still quite complicated for now.
How many teams? 36? Right? I think it's 36.
I think it's 36.
Now
they will be in a league format, but not everybody will get to play each other.
You just play 8. League. You play 8 games, 4 home, 4 away against different teams.
It's just to give them more games. And,
it's just spread.
But it's just an extra 2 games actually.
Spread. I think it's also a good spread. It's also a good spread.
I like the fact that it's a different. See, you have to admit, I don't want to force it upon you, but I think the group stages have been boring. They've been predictable.
It's always been the same way.
They've been predictable
over and over again.
Yeah, the seeded teams always reaching the knockout stages. Only few times upsets happen. It's becoming predictable. Let's have something. And we know what they say about changes. Change, we always resist it.
At the end of the day, we get used to it.
You get. Now, with the Champions League next season, the top 8 teams will progress automatically to the round of 16. Now, from 9 to 25,
you go through the
playoffs. From 25 down to 36, you guys are bounced out, and you're not even going to the Europa League.
No,
you are bounced totally out of Europe.
So playoff losers that will not go to the
exactly, and same applies to the Europa League and also the Europa Conference League as well. So I don't think it's bad. Yeah, just let's have something refreshing.
Yeah, we'll get used to it. Like I said, I don't think I would like it at first, but we'll get used to it. At least we'll stop seeing all these boring Man City group stage games.
Yeah,
Man City never play anybody important in group stage.
Man City always playing, Leipzig always playing, all these Belgrade teams. All right, we'll take a look at the highlights here, and definitely, Milan should definitely have taken the lead in this game, but it hasn't happened yet. We'll see if it will be different in the second half of this game. By the way, as the Champions League returns, guys, it's an interesting moment to welcome back 𝐾𝐸, Thierry Henry, Michael Richards, and Jamie Carragher.
I can't wait. I'm always
back to. We cannot watch it on TV, right?
Yeah.
Or on Twitter, right? On Instagram. Yeah. We see the clips.
Yeah, watch it on YouTube and stuff like that. Speaking of YouTube, we're streaming, by the way. Milan 98.3 FM.
Where were you when I mentioned it?
Dami said we should mention it.
You fear of Dami.
Dami's around. He's not smiling. I lots of people like me, like lots of many other people had thought that Thierry Henry, getting the under 21 job would mean he would no longer make appearances on TV. But he gets to keep his role, and everybody's favorite. Do
you think there's something going up on Abdul?
Yeah, we've all seen those videos.
What pictures?
We've all seen those videos. Those videos of Henry paying extra attention to kids and staying a bit too long. Before that
do you know, actually knew you were going to bring this issue up.
Really?
The moment you talked about that, Henry, I knew you were going to bring this issue up.
Does Okpe have a 𝐾𝐸 in this building?
I'm not sure we've got a 𝐾𝐸 right.
We don't.
I said it's a personal question.
No, we don't.
That colleague that you might be attacking.
Alright, so the sports quiz is not where you discuss that.
You see this?
Got the ladies line on Wednesday. Come on, tell us.
Alright, 091360410. You can call those numbers. Let's have a conversation before 7 p.m. We'll wrap this up. Do we have messages, right? Let's read some of them.
Yeah, we have messages on YouTube, and maybe you can check Facebook as well. But YouTube, 𝐷𝐴𝐺 Benjamin says, "Good evening, guys. I wanted to play PS4 today. My opponent chose Man U. I chose Bayern, and my opponent angrily dropped the gamepad and left. Maybe I will understand the reasons for his actions tomorrow." Come on, bro. At least it was funny. 𝗀𝐻𝐸 says, "Champions League greetings to Okpe and Wale." Wow.
Thank you, Jerry.
All right, Greatness. Let's hear from Greatness real quick. Hello, Greatness. How you doing?
Hello, Wale. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. We know your name already. Where are you calling from?
Greatness from Abara.
All right, well.
So if Man City used to play live before, last season Chelsea played Dortmund. Are we not to play Dortmund in group stage? Union Berlin is playing Real Madrid. Was it tomorrow? So is that one too boring? Is it the sort of Man City that they are winning the league and they are putting them in 41?
Anyways, Greatness. I'll be watching PSG Dortmund. I'll be watching Man City.
You know when they stop that business because we are the champion, whether you like it, they will still call me the champion.
You will still get all the numbers. You are still defending champion. Greatness.
All right, thank you very much, Greatness. Your thoughts, the number one city fan of Sports Cruise, no doubt. No doubt. All right, messages here on Facebook as well. Are you done with YouTube?
No, 𝐾𝐸's message says, "Big T, go and find your club in the trenches. Okpe, you did not drag Tunde Young and his useless club.
Why will I drag the team that's down already?"
Can we segue? Can we just divert just for 2 minutes here? He mentioned Chelsea, right? And it's just proper as the Chelsea fan here. Do you think Chelsea are in crisis?
No, I do not think so.
Do you think Chelsea are playing well?
Not as well, but definitely not as badly as the results imply. So that's why I'm not worried.
So you think Chelsea are better than the results they're
Chelsea
getting right now?
Chelsea have an XG of 10 goals and they've scored 5 goals.
Still on the XG.
Look, you use these things to you cannot underperform your XG by half the entire season. So eventually the goals will start coming. That's what I believe.
Wale, please, can you ask me?
You know that you can
Last season the issue is that they were not creating chances.
You know that you can overachieve with that metric and you can underachieve. A classic example is Victor Boniface, who is averaging, in fact, in the top 5 leagues, Boniface has had the most shots in the top 5 leagues, but he cannot sustain it. Sergio Guirassy has 8 goals this season, right? Basically, every shot on target Guirassy has had for Stuttgart this season, he has scored. But can he sustain it? No. Same thing with Chelsea.
Chelsea cannot create chances for the entire season.
Okay, continue to create chances for the entire season.
And
then you don't score them.
Continue.
I don't understand.
It is not sustainable.
Let me ask you.
It's not sustainable for a football club to create chances.
You have to be able to balance it.
Tune Young, listen.
I don't understand.
Tune Young, I think a lot of us often get this thing twisted. We're just talking about chances created, G2 whatever, because we look beyond. We look beyond the result. We look beyond the 90 minutes. We look beyond what happens on the pitch of play because of the job that we do. A lot of people out there are only interested in what is the scoreline. Nobody cares on the shot on goal. Nobody cares on the chances to create. So if you continue to say because you have the potential of scoring this, you took your chance and you're not doing anything. Excuse me, you've had 5 goals scored, 5 goals conceded, just 5 points in 5 games, and you're saying you're not in crisis. A team that has spent over 1 billion, you've won only 11 games in about 19 months. What is that you say? What? Okay, how does a team come in crisis if you say Chelsea is not in crisis?
I don't know why.
How else can a team be in crisis?
I don't know why you desperately want Chelsea to be in crisis.
Look, I don't understand what you mean desperately.
If you want to, you've
won only Luton Town this whole season. Only Luton Town.
And you expected to beat Luton.
Look, if you want to lump, if you want to lump it together with last season Chelsea was definitely in crisis.
Okay, what about this season?
Look, I'm looking at it in a different season, and in a different season, I see a team that is missing 12 first team players, and even though they have scored 5 goals,
why do you have a large squad by the way?
I think I agree with Tunde Young that there is this propensity for neutrals to want to pronounce and announce that Chelsea are in crisis. I also don't think they are in, especially where they're coming from. Now, this is what I think. For a squad that is so newly assembled, you might get a feeling that the problem they have is lack of partnerships on the pitch. But they've struck some good partnerships. Sterling and Jackson, Malo Gusto and Sterling.
Would you play 60 minutes on Sunday?
I get all of that. But I think what they are lacking is that their signings have not really settled.
Let me take something away from you. If you look at the starting 11, if you look at the Arsenal squad, for instance, you can easily predict Arsenal starting 11. You can predict Manchester City starting 11. As bad as Manchester United, you can actually predict what they will come up with. Tell me how you can predict starting 11.
Could you predict Arsenal starting 11 when Arteta just took charge?
So that supports my point that I think Chelsea have not settled in, and by the time they settle,
it's a new coach dealing with about 12 new signings. Of course, it will take time to figure out who are his best players.
Unfortunately, the league does not care whether you just assemble or you don't just assemble.
And from a statistical point of view, everybody cares for statistical analysis, but ultimately the numbers simply represent what is clear from watching Chelsea. With the numbers don't lie.
They're underperforming, but they're not in crisis. 2 things can be true.
You've been underperforming for 18 months. A team that have won the Champions League twice in the last 12 years, that have won the Europa League and the FA Cup, you've won the Premier League, you won the World Cup. The most successful club in the most successful English club in Europe in the last 15 years, and you've been so bad that you didn't qualify for Europe. You are 14th on the table this season, and you say you're not in crisis. Anyways, is it until you get relegated that you admit that you're in crisis?
Let me put a positive spin towards this for Chelsea fans. Sports team are controlling games. They average the highest share of possession in the league. 69.6%. So maybe that's a positive year. They also have the 6th best XG in the Premier League, behind just Man City and the likes of Brighton and maybe Arsenal.
For a team that was not creating chances
Alan alone has scored more than the entire Chelsea squad this season. Alan alone.
At some point, all these things get old. Banter is banter.
I don't understand. Where is banter here? I'm putting facts on the table.
But crucially,
this is not banter.
Chelsea will have to quickly turn all of this promise
exactly
into results.
18 months, and you think
very,
the
very
team is not struggling over £1 billion spent? This is not banter, my friend. This is fact.
Nobody said the team is not struggling. I've admitted here that Chelsea are underperforming. They are not in crisis. Two different things.
Hi, good evening.
I'm Manchester United fan. I just got to inform you that Ziyech and Odoi left Chelsea and he scored before Mudryk.
That's
Thank you very much.
That's banter, my friend.
The match that you signed, how many goals has he scored?
but actually, I mean, Chelsea fans will give to have a player like Callum Hudson-Odoi right now.
No.
Right now.
No.
What do you mean by no?
That was his fifth Premier League goal in 5 years.
And so what have you done in 19 months as a club?
Why are we talking about Hudson-Odoi as if it's De Bruyne or Salah? Please.
All right.
Because of one goal against Burnley.
So then, can you stop responding to questions as a Chelsea fan?
Hi, Sunday.
Coming from 𝐷.
Okay, welcome.
For Barcelona this night, they are going to lose because that attacker that is winning the hood.
All right, thank you very much. Looks like Stefano Pioli is going to ring the changes as we approach the second half. Pulisic has been called upon, and looks like there's one more player also was about to come on for Milan as the second half is about to commence at the San Siro. All right, let's also let's read. Oh, it's Florenzi. Yeah, let's handle Florenzi. Maybe comes on for David Calabria, who got a yellow card, silly one in the first half. I've got more messages on Facebook here, guys. I think Chelsea are not in crisis. They're different from last season. Creating chances this season is a good thing on the pitch. Adeniji Udemesa, it says. Chinedu says, please, your FPL code. We'll get that to you very soon. Zanga says, good evening, guys. I'm hoping for Newcastle to not lose today. I want them to make it to the next round of the Champions League. Great job you guys are doing. And thank you very much. Good evening, guys. I think United need a goalkeeper. And for my darling Chelsea, I think this hard times will stop when the injured players return. Can't wait to see Nkunku. All right, you probably have to wait for some more months before Nkunku returns. For Chelsea. Hello.
Hello, good evening, Ola.
George, how are you doing?
I'm fine, and you?
Yeah, very well.
I think Mr. 𝐿𝐴𝐺 should be more an analyst than banter on this show. It's a team that performed so woefully last year. Compare last year and this year, it's not the same. But you just see on Facebook, everywhere, even on this show, you don't even want to say anything good in Chelsea at all. That's not the way.
Can you just respond to what is being on ground? Whatever you think it's a banter. Wait.
And Nami said we go Chelsea.
No. Don't
we're
drop.
Talking
don't
Champions
drop.
League.
Let's get it sorted, Wale. I really don't like when people move all of those conversations. I've not bantered on the show today. I brought fact. Chelsea is 14th on the table.
And Chelsea
they have 5 points. They've had 5 goals scored. Yeah. They've conceded 5 goals. They've had only 1 win in 5 games. Which of the things that I've said on
and the only one win was against Luton.
Yeah. Which of the things that I've said today is a banter? They are facts.
And the facts don't lie.
And they spent over £1 billion. Is the fact. I didn't fabricate those numbers. These are the numbers that clear.
I might have tilted towards Tony Young here, but I mean another fact I'm going to put out there or analysis is the fact that for the billions or $1 billion that Chelsea spent, I don't think Chelsea have got squad depth
at all.
Because 12 first team players are injured. Why is everybody ignoring that?
Even when those players are back. Even when those players are in the squad.
Have you seen Chelsea with every player available?
Are you
available? That's
you make it look like if there's 12 players who are available,
you will be top
Chelsea will be top of the Premier League.
That's not what I said.
That's what
I brought that up in response to your squad depth issue.
Every team has injury
every
problems.
Team is missing 12 first team players.
You look at United.
Mention one team that is missing 12.
United also have an injury crisis.
12, not injury crisis.
Don't make it like this 12 are ready to stand in and start games.
They are valuable squad depth. That's the point.
So would you start the 25 players at the same time?
That's lame excuse.
Would you start the 25 players at once?
This is what I don't like. You brought up squad depth. I responded with Chelsea and missing 12 first players. Those players would at least have been on the bench against Bournemouth at the very least.
So you mean there's nobody on the Chelsea bench right now? Is that what you're saying?
We saw the bench against Bournemouth and the games that were made.
Even the people on your squad depth that are shouting 12 players injured, how many of them will start for Chelsea if they're actually in the squad?
You know, for a matter of fact, I've got a couple of minutes to take a look at those 12 players. Can we have those 12 players who are currently injured?
That's off the top of my head.
No, please.
I will read them.
Okay, you guys have it? Let's take a look at the 12 players.
Yes, I have all of the 12 players injured. There's 𝐶𝐶𝐾, there's Reece James, there's Christopher Nkunku, there's Wesley Fofana, there's Badiashile, there's Armando Broja, there's Trevor Chalobah, there's Marcus Bettinelli, there's Romeo Lavia, there's Nuno Madueke, there's Masco Cucurella, there's Moses Caicedo.
Can we be serious here?
Okay, which of those players do not play for Chelsea even as a starter or as a substitute?
And Lavia played for you, and Bettinelli played for you.
Where's Armando Broja in the scheme of things? Where's Armando Broja?
Armando Broja after Jackson, Armando Broja is the only centre forward at the club. Like literally the reason Chelsea did not sign any striker because they have Jackson and Broja, two centre forwards.
That's an absolute joke.
So are you really serious?
That's an absolute joke.
I feel like I'm speaking a different language here. Like I don't understand what all this. If you want to banter, let us know about that. But we are being serious.
Who is bantering here? We're giving
you call 12 players. You're telling me those players are not going to play for Chelsea if they're available.
Sunday Young. Are these players?
Reece James.
Wait, calm down. Reece James is your captain. We know. Are these not the players that are injured for Chelsea? Is this a banter? Are these players not
so
injured?
How do you invalidate this list and tell me that any other team will miss 12 first players?
Who is invalidating the list?
Let's check the score. Hello. Good evening.
Hello, good evening. This is Michael from Ipaja.
Michael, thanks for joining the show. Go on.
For instance, let's take Arsenal for instance. If Saka, Martinelli and what's the name of that guy at the back? The right side defender. I think they are injured. Do you think Arsenal will perform as they are performing now? The injury crisis is too much. Look at those that are injured now. They don't command the first team set. They're not there. I don't want them to perform well. I keep on saying 1 billion. Most of them are not there. Those are playing. They're not the first team players. The rest of them are not the first team players.
All right, thank you very much, Michael, for your thoughts. Right there, Fabian Schär goes into the book. In the Milan-Newcastle game still remains barren, although we're just 4 minutes into the second period of this game. By the way, Young Boys and RB Leipzig still remains the same. Yeah, it's still 1-1 in that fixture as well. Hello, caller. Good evening. Welcome to Sports Cruise. All right, you'll have to call us back. Let's check out WhatsApp and see if we've got some messages here. Yeah, we do. Good evening, Olale, Yemi, Sunday Young. Champions League is back. If Newcastle win this match, I see them top this group or second. I wish Barcelona the best of luck. Mike from Ikeja in cement. See as Yemi, they pull energy when it comes to Chelsea matter. Like say, it gets share. Hello, good evening. Hi, can you turn down the volume of your radio over there, okay? Or you kill it off?
I've done that.
What's your name?
My name is Great College from Maburu.
Okay, welcome.
I think Chelsea cannot start with 5 players. It's just like saying that if Arsenal bring more squad depth, because they will start all of them. So I think once those 12 players come back, that Chelsea will actually improve. Although I don't think
they probably beat Man City.
There's not much that coach can do about it. But I think the part of Opemi saying Chelsea cannot start 25 players at once. It's just like people that were saying Arsenal does not have squad depth. Even if they got squad depth, they cannot start all of them at once. So that's for injury crisis, and Chelsea actually have that now.
All right, thank you very much. By the way, another segue here, inside the segue. This is like the third time I've heard that this week. I mean, basically Chelsea fans not happy with the performance. Big shout out to Puja and his fans. I called a couple of clips. And I realized that a lot of Chelsea fans were calling Bournemouth Bournemouth. Yeah,
it's a Nigerian thing. It's a Nigerian thing. If you frequently visit that, you know Leicester is Leicester.
So please, it's Bournemouth.
What of Leicester?
Okay, it's Leicester.
Yeah, so it's a Nigerian, not the Chelsea fan.
Yeah, I cringe when I hear that, and it's Bournemouth. I mean, it feels so funny hearing Bournemouth. Like, what's that? All right, thank you very much for calling. Chelsea fans.
The only players with Premier League experience, like the only players to have played.
You bought Cole Palmer for £45 million. No, you knew what you saw before you went to buy it.
I'm not. You just want to argue.
We gotta go. Before we go, Spain's Football Federation. I don't understand these people.
Have they not gotten what they want?
How do you go from the highs of winning the World Cup?
They're not even enjoying their victory,
and you descend into utter and abysmal chaos and disarray. I can't believe it.
Is their choice? Maybe they should have just allowed. They
have to get back to it, or else the FA is going to sue them. So I mean, the Madrid goalkeeper was being asked, "Are you happy to be in camp?" She said, "No." You have to come now. All right, guys, what are your other predictions for the games tonight? Are you expecting any upsets? So they also need to respond after.
They have very high odds for that. I have PTSD from the weekend.
Of those days in the
final Celtic, I'm a bit undecided. Shakhtar Donetsk, Porto as well, I'm undecided. The rest of the games, apart from Atletico Madrid, all of them are home.
By the way, I'm banking on Kylian Mbappe, Robert Lewandowski, Young Bash, and Kyogo Furuhashi to score tonight.
That's an interesting list of
players. So you guys can check it out. Take it to the bank.
You know who could they send us?
All right, thank you very much, guys, and we'll be back tomorrow for another edition 6 p.m. right here on the Sound of Lagos. So, thank you very much for coming through. To the young, 𝐼𝐕𝐄, still Milan.